In a small village of South Sussex area, there was a girl whose beauty and recklessness would one day bury her own happiness. Amara was beautiful, a girl whose beauty made people turn twice without knowing they did, and whose stubbornness made elders shake their heads. She was a fine lady, beautiful, smart, and bold. From a young age, Amara had a habit of dressing in ways that drew attention. Short skirts, tight tops, blouses that revealed everything and hid nothing. Every day she walked to school, her steps were full of confidence, sometimes too much confidence. It was this attitude that brought her constant clashes with her neighbor, Mama Uzioma, a strict woman known for correcting every child in the compound. "Amara, cover yourself, oh! You are still young. Amara, cover your chest. Amara, you are still a child. Dress decently." But instead of listening, Amara would hiss, roll her eyes, and walk away. Life in the village continued normally. Amara went to school, studied, but she also loved attention, from boys, men, anyone who noticed her. As she grew older, Amara's beauty only increased, and so did her problems. She followed boys, not just one, but several. Today she had a boyfriend, tomorrow she had another. Before the week ended, a different man was already calling her queen. Her mother complained. Her father shouted, but nothing changed. Sometimes her father chased her out of the house in anger, but her mother let her back in at night, whispering, "She's still a child. She will change." But Amara didn't change. She became the type of girl who left home in the morning for school, yet entered men's houses before reaching class. Men admired her. Seniors wanted her. Teachers complimented her. Even older men in the village sent small gifts to get her attention. There was even a time the villagers whispered, "Amara is pregnant." But the rumor faded when she suddenly appeared slim again and continued her usual life. One evening, her father reached his breaking point and called her out in anger. "If you want to follow men, then stop school. Stop school, stop wasting my effort. Find a husband and end this embarrassment." But her mother only sighed and said, "When she sees the right man, she will settle." And so Amara continued, living wild, living free, living like the world had no consequences. Men followed her everywhere, in school, in the village. Even older men admired her charm. She became the center of attention wherever she went. Eventually, after her secondary school term ended, her mother decided to send her to the city to live with her sister in order to end the embarrassment she is bringing to the family and her younger ones. Over there, Amara met a wealthy young man who knew nothing about her village life, a caring, gentle man who loved her even more than she loved herself. They fell in love, married, and soon returned to her village to complete the traditional rites. On that fateful day, Amara's wedding became the talk of the entire town. Whispers filled the air. How fortunate she was to marry such a wealthy man, especially considering the shadows of her past. The celebration was grand, joy spilling from every corner. As tradition demanded, Amara and her husband made their way to her father's home to receive his blessings and prayers. Amara never imagined that beneath her joy of becoming a wife, an old childhood deed was waiting to surface, a deed that would mark the beginning of her journey into barrenness. For a while, life was beautiful. Her old behavior stopped. She became a responsible woman. Everyone in the husband's family loved her. Her life seemed perfect, but something was missing. After 7 years of marriage, Amara could not conceive. Her mother-in-law was upset. Her sister-in-law was cold. Her mother-in-law complained. Her sister-in-law avoided her. Sometimes they scold her, shouting, "Amara, if you can't conceive, leave our brother alone, oh!" People whispered again. Some mocked her. Some pitied her. Only her husband stood by her. He defended her day and night. Amara didn't even know the cause of the curse. She went to the hospital. They would check and tell her there's nothing wrong with her nor her husband. They went to so many churches in the city, praying and begging God for a child. Her husband went to the chapel every evening, praying relentlessly for a child. One day, Amara received a phone call. Her father said, "Amara, come home this Saturday. There is a place we must go to find out the cause of your problem. Enough is enough." Amara felt her heart tighten. She got into a kabu early that Saturday, silently crying, feeling devastated, and keeping her pain to herself. She arrived at the village bus stop. Her father was there, smiling but worried. "Everything will be fine, my daughter. Since you are married now, we will find out the cause, know how to tackle it, and find a solution for it." Her father hugged her and embraced her. He helped carry her bags home. That night, after a quiet dinner, they prepared to go to the shrine early the next morning. At the shrine, the priest began his ritual. Candles flickered, incense filled the air. He looked at Amara and said, "Your womb is silent without reason. There is something from your past that must be revealed." He said, "It is tied to something you did at the age of 12. Everyone froze. Amara trembled. "What did I do?" The priest continued, "At 12, anger filled your heart, and in that anger, you threw innocence into darkness." Amara shook her head. "I don't—" The priest's voice rose. "Remember the well and what you buried." The memory hit her like lightning. She was 12, walking home from school, still angry because Mama Ozioma had shouted at her again for dressing indecently. She heard tiny cries near the local well, soft, helpless, painful. She peered inside and saw newborn chicks trapped at the bottom. Their mother hen was crying on top, flapping her wings, begging for help. But instead of saving them, Amara remembered the insults, the embarrassment, the shouting. And in her childish wickedness, she carried a basin of sand and poured it into the well. The chicks cried, the hens screamed, but she kept pouring until silence swallowed the well. She didn't know the chicks were sacred. She didn't know the woman she hated came from a lineage of spiritual depth, and she didn't know she had buried her own womb that day. The priest closed his eyes and said, "What you buried has buried you. This curse cannot be undone." The words were too heavy. Amara's eyes rolled back and she collapsed. Her father shouted in shock and fell to his knees. Her mother screamed. Her sister cried. The priest called for help. They dragged Amara outside, pouring water on her unconscious body. They called for help and managed to carry her out of the shrine. Nobody heard what happened inside the shrine, but when they saw Amara being carried out unconscious, worry spread. Villagers asked, "What happened to Amara? Why did they take her there?" It was Amara's younger sister who told the people what the priest had revealed. From there, the story spread throughout the village, and eventually her husband heard the rumor in the city that same night. He returned to the village the next morning, not with anger in his eyes, but with deep disappointment. He didn't shout. He didn't ask for explanations. He simply placed the marriage ring and the native marriage tokens on the ground before her father. He said, "I cannot live with someone whose heart I do not understand," and walked away. Just like that, Amara lost her marriage in one breath. She lost her marriage, her reputation, and her trust in the world. When Amara finally woke up, her mother told her the truth. "Your marriage is over." Amara screamed. She cried until her voice broke, but it was too late. Too late to fix the past. Too late to undo what she buried as a child. Afterwards, Amara went to the woman whose chicks had been involved in the event. She went to the woman whose chicks she killed 20 years ago. The woman was old now, slower, kinder. Amara knelt before her, trembling. "Mama, I beg you. I wronged you. I destroyed what you cherished, and now life has destroyed me. Please, forgive me." The old woman looked at her for a long time. Then she sighed. "I forgave you years ago, but may others should learn from your story. Wickedness does not rot, it returns." From that day on, Amara became withdrawn. Staying indoors, she avoided the village, stopped speaking to people, and lived a lonely, introverted life. The girl who once had many men now couldn't face even one person. Moral lesson: what you do in anger or jealousy, even as a child, can follow you into adulthood. A single act of cruelty can shape your life in ways you never imagined. Amara's story became a lesson for the entire village, a warning that our actions, even small ones, carry consequences far beyond what we see.